So today's date is July 1st. Wow, it's actually so crazy saying out loud. It has been 6 weeks since I have dislocated my shoulder. That happened on May 18th. So for 6 weeks, I've been not working, not going to the gym, and third, finally not least, not getting paid. Not making as much money as I was while I was working both my jobs and having my bartending business running. So what happened was that May 18th, I finished up a morning shift at my job, morning afternoon shift at my job, and I went to go to the gym right after. And it was a normal push day, and I had finished my dumbbell incline press workout, moving on to shoulder press, and was doing what I thought was a warm up set. And it was the heaviest warm up set I've done before, but knowing that I could rep it out to me, was normal with like any lift that I do in the gym. And as I proceeded to kind of kick the weight up to my shoulders, I can't move it up right now, but I had my right arm a little bit too low and not realizing it, trying to push up at the same time, and had an anterior dislocation, which means that my shoulder joint popped forward, not out, like not backwards, popped forward. I immediately dropped the weight and then proceeded to call someone that I had seen in the gym at the moment and had asked him to pop it back into place for me. Once I realized that I couldn't move my shoulder, but I could still move my fingers, and we made an attempt to pop it back in, and it was painless, and it had popped in. So, I'm me thinking, okay, it's time to leave the gym. Obviously, I'm not going to continue this workout. I'm going to go to the doctor tomorrow. I'm probably going to have to call out of work. And as I'm trying to make it to my car, it pops out of place once again, therefore leading me to call Rosie to pick me up and to go to the hospital. Waited in the hospital about 3 or 4 hours before we could get the first shoulder reduction treatment in the ER. They put me on numbing medicine, moved my shoulder to the side, lifted it up, and it popped back in. And as they put the sling that I use now on me, it fell out again. So it fell out twice at this point in time. Or actually, no, long story short, no, that made it 3 times total. So then obviously I get another reduction, they pop it back in. And the doctors tell me after the second day, I should be able to take off this thing and kind of pretend like things are as they were before. And the day after, I made an appointment to a regular doctor to kind of get like a doctor's note and to see how to move forward with it, because I knew that I couldn't move my shoulder at all still. And them telling me that I had to be out for 6 weeks, I needed to see an orthopedic doctor to see if surgery was needed. Yeah. From May 18th to June 4th, I spent every day of the week trying to get a doctor's appointment with a orthopedic specialist. And just to be open and transparent, this is probably one of the hardest things I've ever done for some reason. I'm not going to blame the healthcare system. I'm not going to blame my insurance. I'm not going to blame any doctors. I'm only going to be able to blame myself for not having health insurance prior to this incident, and then signing up for it like the following week of this incident happening, and then trying to see a doctor as quickly as possible and having that be an issue. So June 26th was the day, which was like 4 weeks after the incident happened, that I had finally seen an orthopedic doctor. And with good news, I do not need surgery, but because of my work, which isn't necessarily intense, I don't do anything. I cook at both jobs for a living. It's just that it's not an office job, that I cannot return to work after 6 weeks of PT. I'm fairly optimistic about it all. Obviously, before all this happened, I've been a very busy person. I work 2 jobs. I would work 2 jobs constantly. I never really had any days off. I'd have one day off every 2 weeks, maybe one day off every 7, maybe after 8 to 10 days. And with this new change of pace and how my life is, it's been very mentally difficult to move on. I've been stuck at home, not able to work out, having all this time to like reflect on myself and my life. I feel like I have to get back into what it is that I've wanted to do all my life, and that is to like have a real big passion for making videos and inspiring people. And today marks the first day in that journey. So let's get to it.